my name is Brooke Lippman.
And I'm Dr. Deb Lippman.
And this is Wine Together,
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready.
Santé. Yes, Santé. So those of you who kind of know our routine, you recognize it's a French wine because of how we cheers. I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't tried it today because, haven't had a chance. But yesterday we decanted. Mm-hmm. Today we did not. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, we had it with food, a recipe that you had figured out. And so it's from the Bordeaux region in France, which those who travel for wine know that that's kind of like the southwestern part of France. Part of the Bordeaux region kind of is coastal on the Atlantic Ocean. Mm-hmm. But most of it's just teeny bit inland, I don't know, 100 kilometers at the most, I think, inland from the Atlantic Ocean. But anyway, lots of different grapes grown there. Our wine happens to be a Merlot Cab Sav blend. It's a 2019 vintage. Mm-hmm. Very good grapes. Definitely have notes of blackberries, black currants. Mm-hmm. Especially some people get notes of cherry. Some people get notes of vanilla from the oak barrels. I'm not getting that, but I'm also almost 60, so maybe my olfactory senses aren't strong like they used to be. Mm. But definitely on the palate to taste my tongue. Definitely have the berries, 100% have the berries. I don't get a lot of spice, but some people do. I also don't feel like it's a long finish. I feel like I swallow the wine and it's kind of gone. But some people say that it's a pretty long finish. A lot of Bordeaux wines have a long finish, but maybe I just don't understand that part.
I don't know.
I don't feel a lot of tannins in it, so it's it's kind of subtle. So I mean, it does smell a bit earthy to me, and I don't know. When I say earthy, I think of where I grew up, rural North Carolina. Earthy kind of means you smell of fertilizer that was used in the field on the earth. But it's not a strong earthy fragrance. Mm-hmm. So thank goodness. But I have had a lot of red wines that have very strong earthy fragrance that I can't necessarily drink a full glass because they smell so much like that. But anyway, it's not a heavily bodied wine. It's kind of light and some of my favorite, grapes. The Merlot Cab Sav, can't go wrong there. I don't think. What do you think, Brooke?
It's good.
Well, that's not hard, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I can smell the cherries, so
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, again,
I think it's interesting.
I think that's very interesting because
I don't smell blackberries so much, but I smell the black currant a little bit.
I definitely taste them too, but you know what? It's so funny because in most red wines, I tend to always smell blackberries.
Interesting.
So maybe that's just me, but I love blackberries, and I have very fond memories with my grandmother and blackberries, and picking them straight off of a vine and eating them till my tummy hurt. Mm. But just wonderful memories. So, and I remember my grandmother used to kind of grow grapes and make wine.
You need to stop looking away from your microphone.
Okay, sorry.
I noticed that when editing, I couldn't
when
hear
I'm looking
you.
at my notes?
Yeah.
I got you.
It'll just get like really quiet, and then I have to go and turn the volume up even more.
Okay, I'll try that. I think I did take quite a few notes on this last night and this morning from our experience with it yesterday evening. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we decanted yesterday evening. Well, close, maybe even a little over an hour. So maybe we decanted, quite a bit of time. But it's okay. I still thought it was wonderful with what you cooked.
Yeah, it took me longer than I thought it was going to cook that. Because it said it was supposed to take like an hour to cook. It took me like 2 hours. Yeah.
But I was thankful I went ahead and ate my sandwich at my late lunch because, because of the time that it
Yeah.
took. But it was excellent. I
Mhm.
mean, I love a chicken dish, especially with a tomato sauce. I love chicken and rice in any way. So
See,
that was excellent.
I thought it was really good using the cognac instead of white wine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean I wouldn't know because I haven't had it
I
with
was
the
like,
white
you
wine.
didn't
So
try
but
you didn't really notice it. So
yeah, I don't think so.
Mhm.
But you know, it was excellent. It was so good. I would definitely want you to cook that again.
Yeah.
So tell us how you came up with this recipe.
Okay, so I did like the same thing that I did last week where I looked up the food pairings and then I looked up a recipe that had some of those ingredients. So the food pairing for the red wine, I pulled up the website that I sent you because I had the food pairing. So it says this specific wine, the Chateau Bonnet, is best paired with all types of classic meat dishes: veal, pork, beef, lamb, duck, game, roast chicken, roasted, braised, and grilled dishes. And then it also mentioned that you can pair it well with like mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to find something that used mushrooms and also like some kind of meat. At first, I wanted to do like a gamey kind of meat, but I couldn't really find an easy recipe that used that was French because I've been trying to keep to the regions that the wine is from. And then I actually kind of tried looking up like dishes from the Bordeaux region, and this might have been one that I got from from looking that up, but I can't really remember. But it was called French Chicken Marengo, and I don't know if that's because chicken marengo is a dish that is not classically French, and then this was like a French version of it, or if they just put that there to be like, oh, it's a French dish. But yeah, it was the easiest thing. I wanted to try the other one, but then you have to get like cheesecloth. You have to have like these other materials to get the meat ready, and it was just gonna be too much.
Yeah, that was a long process. The first one you chose, I mean, we're talking a 12-hour marinade starting the night before, and honestly, we had a lot going on.
Yeah.
That day that we were gonna do our tasting, our first tasting of the wine along with food, and so yeah, I think that you made the right choice with your recipe. I really did enjoy it, and I'm really enjoying you cooking.
Yeah,
and finding good different recipes.
I like cooking, So.
I will say I'm glad you chose the mushrooms because again I still have an earthy kind of fragrance when I smell the wine.
Yeah.
And so to have the mushrooms with it, I thought that was an excellent addition to the meal.
Yeah, and I don't remember. Didn't I add something? No, I used what was. I didn't use parsley. But I liked that there was orange zest in it. I think it kind of like brought out a little bit of a nice flavor. And I think it brought out more of a flavor in the wine too when you like ate it and then you drank the wine immediately. Like having the orange zest in there was really good.
The orange zest with that tomato sauce that you kind of cook the chicken in, that was a good addition. Not, I mean, I do add zest to almost any dish that I use rice. Yeah. But usually not orange. But it smelled it was so fragrant when you were zesting it. I thought, my goodness gracious, that smells good.
Yeah, I did cut the mushrooms up really, really tiny. And the only reason I wish I hadn't was because it took me over an hour to cut up the mushrooms.
And I'll be honest with you, I wish I had either because I love mushrooms. And a lot of times when veggies are cut small, I don't get the taste. Yeah. And so I was a little sad about that.
I mean,
like
the reason
big mushrooms
I did cut up the mushrooms smaller was because I wanted them to get like roasted kind of in the simmer, which they didn't.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
But I think I turned it down too low.
Okay.
When I was simmering it with the lid on, because I feel like I had it at like a low heat instead of a medium heat. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. But like we discussed yesterday, maybe some more like salt, pepper, and garlic in the actual tomatoes.
Yeah, I think that would have benefited it. But it's still excellent. And I think that's the thing of when we learn from the experience that we've taken. I think that's always a good process. That's a great way to learn is to, try something. Don't be afraid to try anything. Yeah. And as long as it's, don't be afraid to try anything. Smart and safe, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, also, if I make it again, it won't take as long because I'll know, like, mostly what I'm doing.
Exactly. So. And sometimes when you know you're doing something like that, cut those veggies up ahead of time. I mean, you know, there's a lot of times that I do that. But, of course, you know, I have 36 years of experience over
Well,
here.
I also hate cooking veggies, or cutting veggies, so I always put it off until, like, I'm actually working on cooking. So, yeah.
I understand that. But, you know, the only way you get better at it is to keep doing it. So there's no point in me saying, well, you know, I'm willing to cut the veggies for you. Because, yes, I am. But you're never going to learn if I just continue to do that.
Yeah. But also, I don't know why, like, when I cut onions, I try to get it, like, down straight, and I can't because the onion itself, like, pushes it. And so the bottom half gets way too thick, and it's hard to cut them up smaller.
And a lot of chefs are going to say, oh, your knives must not be too sharp. Probably not, because I use the knives every day.
Yeah.
And, of course, I sharpen them before I use it. But, no, I don't sharpen them after I wash them.
No, but, like, when Dad cuts onions, he can get it straight down, even if the knife isn't sharp. I don't know what he's doing.
Which is funny to me, because when he's working with tools, like a drill or something, he can't, like, always get it straight into whatever. He can't hammer a nail straight. So it's funny to me that you're saying he could definitely
get the knife down
the onion straight. That's funny to me. I mean, you know, it is weird. But, you know, I mean, it is hard to get a nail straight because you're looking at, you're looking at what you're hitting.
Yeah.
And so your perspective is not even straight.
Yeah,
so
well, when you get it to a
it.
certain point, it's easier to just get it down
But that's
there.
true.
So.
That's true.
Yeah. But I don't know. I can't cut onions correctly.
Again, practice. Just keep
practicing.
But
I feel like, okay, but if I'm practicing it the wrong way, then I'm not actually doing it. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, though, because I do it exactly the way you guys tell me to, but I'm still cutting them wrong.
Well, I think that if you keep practicing it, eventually you're going to figure out why it's not working out for you. I do believe you will. It takes years of practice with a knife, and you think about how sharp our knives are most of the time, and you're trying to be careful. You don't want to hurt yourself. So, you know, but, you know, you've got the good cutting boards, you've got decent knives, and, you know, so you just keep going at it and be smart and careful.
I did say yesterday that with this wine, if we're going to do another food pairing with it, sometime I want to do something gamier than chicken.
Yeah, and so, and you've not always been an adventurous eater.
That's not true.
So I find that interesting because I'd really like to know, what are you thinking?
Well, I told you yesterday I wanted to do either lamb or like a steak or pork would be good too.
And to you, that's adventurous, right?
No.
So you wouldn't go venison?
Why not? Like, yeah, I would. Okay. I don't know why you think I'm not an adventurous
when you because when you were growing up in our house, you were a little bit picky, not as picky.
Yeah, but all of us were.
I started to say, not as picky as some of your siblings, but you were a picky eater.
Yeah, and but you're a picky eater now.
I don't know. I try anything. I'll try anything.
Yeah, but then you get upset if it's not exactly the way you imagine it in your head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I you know.
So
I don't give things too many second chances anymore.
No, which is not necessarily like, how is that being adventurous? Like, if you can't give something a second chance, unless like you know it's something about that specific food, right? Like I can't eat beef, and I'm not gonna keep trying to eat beef because I know it makes me sick. Right. And I know that it's beef and not from one specific place.
And it's funny because I have had venison many times, and it's a lot of times it's because I like the protein in a meat, and so I will eat it. But I'm not crazy about the taste of it. It is too gamey for me.
Didn't we have those venison burgers at that one place in North Carolina?
I'm certain that we have.
Yeah,
I can't recall it right off the top of my head, but I'm certain that we have.
Yeah.
Also, we had, well, I don't know if you were a part of it. This might just be me and your dad. We did have wild boar.
Ooh, no.
Here in Switzerland.
Ooh.
So I don't remember where that was at.
And you had horse here.
I do eat Feta steak. Yeah.
I feel bad for the horses, but I also kind of want to try it.
And this is something that your sister Amelia has done with me because, you know, when I first moved here, you know, I'd heard lots of adventurous talk about, you know, the different meats. Now, meat here is very expensive. I don't care
Mhm.
what kind of meat it is. Even deli meat
Even
is expensive here.
chicken here is.
Yeah, chicken here is expensive, which, I mean, obviously we haven't lived in the U.S. in 6 years, and I don't know what. I mean, I'm hearing horror
It's
stories
bad.
about prices of groceries.
Yeah.
But
I know we, like I said, like we get 15 eggs for like 4 francs.
Yeah, we
in the
yeah.
U.S. 12 eggs is now
But
like
those
20
eggs,
bucks.
those 15 eggs 2 years ago, pre-COVID, those eggs were 2 francs something.
Yeah, but I mean.
But now they're double the price. So to
yeah,
me,
but there was
it's
also
like, what in the world?
Well, there was also the bird flu thing
Yes.
going on that wasn't just affecting the
Yeah.
U.S. It was affecting birds everywhere. So
Yeah.
I mean, that is also why anything relating to birds, including chicken, was like going expensive.
Yeah, and so what I was saying about, coming here and trying the different meats and hearing the different stories, someone said, oh, I love a good horse steak, because they, anyway, people have been very kind to, almost always speak English to us, but, we've learned our German, and so now we could say Berda. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try it, because I knew your dad would not want to try it. Because one, he's not a big meat eater, a red meat eater. I mean, he likes red meat, but as far as like going out of his way just to order it, or he was very kind when he said, on our trip, we did a cross country trip, went across the United States and back, and he did say at least one of our restaurants he wanted to eat at a steakhouse, and so I thought that was very kind of him to want to do that with me. So because it's not something he used to go out of his way to say. And so, but like I'm saying, he's not, a big red meat eater the way I used to be. And I've had to, cut back because of my health. So, so I knew trying to Fare to steak, he was not going to want to do that. So I thought, well, I'll just get a small one. They're not that expensive as far as meat in Switzerland. And I would just cook it for my lunch one day while he was at work. And so this was pre-COVID, which tells you it was very early on, because we moved here July of 2019, and then by the end of that year, at the start of 2020, we were starting to hear, the COVID stuff. So it was just 6 months. So within that first 6 months of me being here, I did try the horse steak, and I liked it. I liked the way that I prepared it. I had watched lots of different videos and read a lot about how to prepare it, and so I was pleased. And so I definitely think you should. So when Amelia came to visit, she said, well, I really want to try it. And I was like, absolutely, we'll get a steak. And I just told her the way I prepped it, and she liked that idea, and she liked it. So it's not, the texture's a little different.
Okay.
The texture, honestly, to me, was a lot like liver, but not quite as dense as it. So it's more dense than a cow steak, but not as dense as a liver.
Okay.
So it's kind of in between there. Of course, I got small steaks because, wasn't sure if I was going to like it, didn't want to waste the money. But now I would get a little bit bigger one. I know, I don't remember, you and I cooked a steak. I don't remember if it was before I went to the U.S. for that few months and worked, or if it was after I got back last year.
No, it was recent.
It was recent, okay. So we did go to the store. There were some steaks on sale.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, they're on sale. Let's do this.
This was like probably November-ish. Or October, because it was before the show.
Oh, really? I thought we did it like February of last year or something like that.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No. This was pretty recent.
And so we had some really good steaks, and and we did have it with a red wine.
Yeah. And some
I don't
steak
remember,
sauce.
and it was
I put some steak sauce on it, right?
Yeah, you did try steak sauce on yours, which was
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of like dry meat. Like I'm not gonna. I don't want to eat meat without some kind of sauce on it.
Yep.
Even chicken, like sometimes I'll be okay, but I usually like prefer to have it with something, right? Because I don't know, it's just kind of boring when it's dry, right? You gotta put something.
I can understand that, but I of course eat my red meat rare to medium rare, and that is definitely not the way my family eats red meat. As far as like not you guys, but like
Yeah.
like my
And
sister.
yet you didn't like tartare.
I didn't mind the tartare because I knew for sure. Here's my experience with that, which is so funny because I didn't know what it was. And so when the guy asked me, "Do you want it hot?" And that was the only, he didn't say hot or cold. He said, "Do you want it hot?" And so I thought, okay, yeah, duh. I want my meat hot, right?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking temperature, because again, didn't know what tartare was, because I was not a very good student in my French class, even though I took several years of French. I was not a good student.
It's funny. So when you first told me this story, I was really confused as to what you didn't understand because you told me it was tartare and I knew what that was. So when you were telling the story, I was really confused about like kind of where the joke was.
Yeah, and so
I was like,
order it, and then and we're in this restaurant. It was it was spring, early spring, and we're in this restaurant. The lights so the dining area we were in was actually considered outdoors, but it wasn't like how we eat outdoors here at our local cafes. It was like the building did not have a roof over this dining area. Like there were some parts of the restaurant that had a roof, like at the bar, and at some of the special rooms that they have. But the main dining area does not have a roof. So you're in nature. You've got trees at most of the tables, and it was dark. Because it was dinner time and, it was spring, so it wasn't getting dark really late. So I can imagine, I bet this place is phenomenal in the summer. So anyway, it was a little cool outside, and so I ordered the tartare. And I can't remember, your dad got something with truffles. And I thought, oh gosh, it was a pasta with truffles. And so I thought, okay, well, and
he knew what truffles were, right?
Yeah, but they're too earthy for him.
Yeah.
And so so we both discovered something that night. And so when it comes, it looks like ground beef. And it's cold. The temperature is cold. And so I looked at your dad, I said, it is cold. He said, I think that he meant when he asked you, because again, keep in mind, English is not this server's first language. When he asked if I wanted it hot, he wanted to know if I wanted it spicy. And so.
But you like spicy.
I like spicy, thank goodness. And so my very first thought when I saw that it was raw meat, I thought, lots of people eat this and never get sick. So I knew I wouldn't get sick. But it was still in the back of my mind, oh my goodness, I'm going to die from salmonella or something like that. Just something really strange. I ate it. I didn't get sick. And I know for sure I would do this again.
Yeah.
And so then me and Ren went to France because we were actually gonna fly to London for your 17th birthday. And so we spent the night in France. Well, we were hungry when we got to the hotel. Our room was not ready. So we thought, okay, how about a late lunch? We had not eaten. And so I immediately see there's a poke bowl with a salmon tartare. And I thought, absolutely, I'm going to do this again. But it wasn't the beef tartare. It was a salmon, and it was excellent.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that what all smoked salmon is anyway? Is like salmon tartare?
I think so. It's just that I think the tartare is unique also in the way that
it's like prepared a different way.
And it's like, I mean, it's like ground.
Yeah.
It's not just a big piece of smoked salmon. It's ground and made,
Yeah. Well, I don't like smoked salmon. I've tried it many times. I've never liked it.
I love smoked salmon. I like almost any fish. I do say I like almost any fish. And so, I love summer when I can have a crisp, cool white wine with a fish dish. And I think that's probably the happiest I ever am. Now, I love cold winter where I have a deep red wine with I hate to say it, but with a good red meat, even though I don't eat it often, that still makes me very, very happy to have. And so, one thing, I also love liver, so,
I don't
that's
think
kind
I've
of
ever tried liver.
I think you need to try with, we need to go to a sushi place that would serve duck liver. Because they'll serve it with the eel sauce, which is sweet.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have my issues where, like, I like one or two different sushi rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not necessarily that big on sushi, but
And I
yeah,
love sushi.
I don't know. I'm not too big a fan of like raw fish.
Love sushi.
Like I try again. Like I've tried it,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like California rolls because I really like crab.
Mm-hmm.
Crab is one of my favorites. It's really good.
And I have, you know what? It's so funny because when we first moved here, I was looking for crab because
Mm-hmm.
I like to make a crab dip. And the person that makes the best warm crab dip I've ever had in my life is your Uncle Corey.
Mm-hmm.
He made it one year at the family was around for it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving, and the family was all at our house. And so Corey says, "Oh, I need to go get these ingredients, so I'm going to make a crab dip with what the meal." My goodness gracious! I probably ate almost the whole dish. I didn't let anybody else have it. It was so good, and I will say I can still close my eyes and taste that. And it. So Corey, if you're listening, I definitely want the crab dip again. So just letting you know if I'm there this summer.
Yeah. We probably need to get back to talking about the wine now.
We probably do. I think this wine is fantastic. We've talked a lot about food. So I would definitely do what you're saying. Pair this with a different type of meat. Even though chicken's excellent, the tomato sauce was excellent.
Would goat meat be really good?
I have no idea.
I've heard that goat is really good.
Ziken. One of those words.
Ziken. E-I, right?
I think it is Ziken. So I like.
Because you pronounce the I.
Ich liebe die Zikenkäse. I love goat cheese. And oh my goodness, I have these wonderful dates that I just picked up. But I couldn't find goat cheese.
I guess
we might have to find a little farm stand at one of our farms when we go hiking.
And then we'll have to do a Greek.
Oh, absolutely.
One. But I don't like dates, so or olives.
Oh, you know what?
But
so
I
funny.
love Greek food though. So Other than those two things.
Well, I love Greek food too. I love. This is the thing. When we go to these like food truck festivals and stuff like that, and I cannot eat as much food as I want. You get full, right? Because you're served like these. But now there is the street food festival under the bridge in September, late August, in Zolotern. They do have probieren portion or trying size. But even that sometimes is big. Yeah. And so and it is a little less expensive. So I like getting the probieren portion. But again, I just want to try everything because everything smells so good when you're there.
Remember that one time we had kangaroo? The first year?
Yes, the first
was good.
year. Yeah. And I remember one time before you were even born, your dad took me to the Arlington County Fair, and they had alligator that they were cooking.
Remember,
and your dad and I tried that.
We got all that jerky from the place in South Carolina in Myrtle Beach, and there was that alligator jerky. I liked that. That was good.
There were some really good jerkies that we had.
The ostrich one was good too.
The ostrich was good, so yeah. I think the only jerky that we have not enjoyed was from Iceland. The
fish one.
The fishes, yeah. And I mean, I still ate it because I, of course, don't mind it, but it is very fishy.
Anyway, sorry, we keep getting distracted from the wine.
Yeah, well,
we're talking about food.
But the wine, I mean, we've talked about it. I think that I love the notes that I get. I love the way it tastes as far as it's easy. And I don't, it's not, it does have about a 13.5% alcohol by volume, which is, that's typical. Wines, especially from the old world. And we're going to get more into this old world, new world wines, as we go on into their new the new way that we're doing the podcast, but this is definitely old world, the way that it's made. I don't want to say prepared because it's much more. There's much more work than just something you prepare like your dish. There's much more that goes into winemaking, and so
we tried.
Yeah,
we did try it.
My grandma used to make pretty decent wine. I was bringing that up and I got distracted, but I used to. I will remember. Okay, some of you may remember I Love Lucy, and Lucy and Ethel ended up working for a little bit at a vineyard, and they had to smash the wine, and they get into the big tub or vat, and they smash the grapes with their feet. It's disgusting.
Sorry, do you want to know a fun fact about that region? There's a region in France that people have this like genetic mutation in their feet, and it's because like way back in the day, they always smash the wine with their feet, and so their feet of these families started mutating to make it easier for them to smash the wine. But now, like with their ancestors that have moved to other countries that are not smashing wine with their feet, like it becomes an issue when they have to get surgery on their feet. That's really interesting.
I'm wondering what the distinction of the foot is. Is it a flat arch?
I can't remember what it is. I'll look it up later. But I just thought that was a fun fact.
I will say, I used to. My grandmother. It was so funny because when my grandmother was making wine, she had this room that she worked in, and that's where the tubs of wine would be. And I remember it was so funny because the first time she let me sit for wine, of course my parents did not know this, but I spent a lot of time with my grandmother growing up. And she said, "You need to taste this." And I was like, "Oh, yes." And so then after she let me taste it, at one point I said something about, I want to taste the wine in front of my mother. My mother said, "Absolutely not." And then she said, "Mama, don't you ever let her drink that wine." Well, anyway, Grandma winks at me, and I learned right then, don't say anything in front of them because, I won't get to taste it. But my grandmother loved wine. She always left the skin on the grapes for a long, long period. And now she did not have oak barrels, so she only would make, I don't know, 10 bottles of wine. But never more than that. But, she had this wonderful grapevine. And I will say, when I moved right before she passed away, I moved a few years before she passed away, but right before she moved away from that house that had the grapevines, I remember saying to your dad, "I've got to get a cutting of the grapes," and we were going to go back and just never did. But I really wanted to keep that vine going, but I didn't have it in me. I mean, my kids were small. I was trying to work. I was trying to do things. My life just was busy, and so I could not cultivate the grapes. And I do wish I had a cutting of it, but I just don't. And that property has been sold, and so there's no way of getting that. But I think this particular wine I would definitely buy again. I love the vintage. I was going to try to compare notes on different vintages, but I thought I don't want to read what somebody else says. Because again, I will read ahead and I will research the ones that we're doing, but I still want to experience it for myself. So my olfactory senses, again, not strong at 60, are different from other people's, and I'm not a sommelier. I'm not going to try to pretend like I am. I'm just simply this southern girl that likes to drink wine. I do prefer red wines, but I absolutely do not mind a white wine, and now a rosé.
Yeah.
But obviously I love sparkling wines. This one is not a sparkling wine.
No.
But the fragrances are great.
See, I can't do like sparkling wine. Like I like prosecco and champagne, but sparkling wine is too sweet for me.
I agree. Sparkling wines are
hurt.
sweet. Yeah, they're very sweet. And it's almost like, because, for a while I'd been told by a doctor that I should be living an alcohol-free life. And I tried it. And then I see two other doctors. One, a cardiologist, that was like, "What are you doing here? Your heart is very healthy. You actually have a healthier heart than a lot of people much younger than you." He said, "You need to have a glass of wine. You need to go home right now, have a glass of wine." He said, "You need to ride your e-bike." And I don't have an e-bike, but, I looked at my husband like, "You heard this man. Yeah. He's a cardiologist." He said, "Get me an e-bike." And he says, "No, you need to enjoy your glasses of wine. That there's absolutely no reason at your age that you shouldn't be happy." He said, "And you are not unhealthy." And so it was so funny because then that's the cardiologist speaking, and I thought, I need to change doctors because these doctors they're not very kind and blah, blah, blah. And so we found another doctor. So when I'm telling the new doctor, who's much younger, what they said, he just started laughing. He did the blood work. He said, "I don't understand." He said, I don't understand why they were saying that. He said, "Your liver enzymes are very healthy. Your heart's very healthy." He says, "Well, I don't know what they were saying." So, which.
Yeah. Well, red
It
wine is
just
good for
whatever.
your heart, so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I drink my little bit of beet juice every day,
Mhm.
twice a day, and I drink my red wine. I love my white wine, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's just weird. So anyway, like I said, I tried the alcohol-free wines,
Mhm.
and because this was just last year in like April.
Mhm.
It was like April, May, and June. I went those 3 months and half of July because
Mhm.
I was determined to see a doctor before my birthday because I was not gonna not have a bottle of wine on my
Mhm.
birthday.
Mhm.
And it was just so funny because even Mother's Day, your dad did not buy me a bottle of wine or alcohol because it was during that time, and so he was very supportive, but then I was like, this is I know I'm healthier than this, and so yeah, I was glad to get the good news that I did not have to drink
Mhm.
alcohol-free wine because it's so sweet. There's so
Mhm.
much sugar in it, which is much more detrimental to my health at 60 than alcohol. Sugar
Mhm.
is the enemy.
Mhm.
And I was like trying those wines, and I was trying all of them because I would go to tastings and in different places, and I said, oh, let me try the alcohol free. They're just so sweet. I don't like the sugars.
Yeah.
So so I think the best is old world wines. We're gonna also, like I said, we're gonna compare some old worlds and new worlds, in the future. But I don't know. I think this was great. I like the fragrances. I like the taste, and I think I've said enough. I really want to. I mean, obviously you said you like it, but why?
I like that it's not super sweet, and
Mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
and I noticed it more because yesterday we had a different wine after this one
We
that
did,
was sweeter, and you can like, it was like turning it up to 100.
and it was spicier. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I just
There
noticed how.
was there was a
But
spice in that
to
second
be
red wine
fair,
that I was like, ooh,
I was
wow.
also drinking tea at the same time that I was drinking that wine.
Okay.
So that, because it was chamomile, I
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't have tasted the spice because of
Yeah.
the chamomile tea I have also has vanilla in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it had that kind of spice
Well,
in it.
this one, I honestly, when I drank that second red wine, I thought, ooh, this is like Christmas. It was a
You know
cinnamon
what?
spice.
I'm wondering though, because when I drank it, and I don't know if it's because of the tea, but the sweetness I noticed was like a little bit of vanilla. So maybe that's what you were tasting, and to you it tastes
It tasted
almost
like
more
cinnamon.
cinnamon.
Yeah, absolutely, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because pure vanilla is like spicy. Not
Mm-hmm.
spicy, but like spicy. It tastes like a spice. Like cinnamon.
Yeah.
The kind of spicy that cinnamon is. Because cinnamon isn't spicy like a pepper, but it's spicy, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right, so is vanilla. But if you have like the vanilla that you use in like baking, it's
Mm-hmm.
not spicy like that because
Yep.
it's mixed with other stuff.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. And when they started doing, getting away from, it's a whole nother story. We're not going to talk about vanilla today.
Okay.
I like this one. I just took a sip, and on the back side of it, yeah, I can see I did get a little hint of vanilla. Maybe it's just because we were talking about it,
Maybe.
but I hadn't been thinking about it, and so I'm trying to,
Mhm.
But I tried to let it go completely over my tongue so I can get the different spots,
Mhm.
and where the different kind of flavors stand out.
Mhm.
You can get it, but really definitely at the back of the tongue, just before you swallow, you can get that spice.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I like this. I mean, I would 100% would buy this one again. What was it called? Chateau
Bonnet.
Bonnet. Chateau Bonnet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's a Merlot Cab Sauv blend. It's a reserva. This is vintage 2019. Absolutely love it.
It actually might be bonnet because there's
Bonnet.
two N's. Bonnet
Yeah,
would have one N, so bonnet.
Yeah,
Bonnet.
bonnet. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's French people
Yeah.
that speak better
Just
French
forgive
than
us.
us.
We are absolutely not trying to be something that we're not, and we're not trying to make fun of anybody. Those two things. We promise we're just trying to be kind and promote the Bordeaux region. We
Yeah, if they
absolutely
want
love
to
it.
sponsor a trip for us to some vineyards.
We would come. Yeah, we would definitely talk about your wines. So yeah, don't hold back. Just invite. We'd love it. But
Honestly,
this is a
like,
good
yeah,
one.
we can pay for our own train trip.
Yeah, for most of
Just
yeah.
put us up somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In one of the chateaus on the vineyard.
It
Yeah.
can be a 1-star hotel. It doesn't have to be fancy.
No, we're not fancy. That's for sure. I mean, honestly, I love sleeping in a tent if the weather's right. You know,
Actually,
so,
a tent in a vineyard might be nice.
oh, wouldn't that be fun? Because
It would smell so good.
well,
At the right time
it
of
would
year.
smell earthy. So, you know, the right time of year. I will say we've hiked through some vineyards here in Switzerland. Your dad and I have, and I will say we definitely need to do that. You need to do that with us. Now that's a tough hike that we did. We probably went 20 kilometers that day, and it was up and down the hills because again, you're in the vineyard. But a lot of the vineyard owners are out there selling their wine, and of course it's very expensive. You get like this little dose of wine for 10 francs. It's very, very expensive, but you know, it's still fun. It's just fun. Absolutely. So on a good day, yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, this is good. Definitely again, don't know what we're going to have for you next week.
Yep.
But we'll look at the stores and oh no, we do
We
know.
have something because
we have a surprise.
I specifically wanted to do something. So.
I did not. I never had this country on my brain when thinking about
I'm so excited.
wines to try. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun one.
Oh,
I'm really excited.
I'm excited. I haven't looked up recipes yet, but it'll be good.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever recipe I think of, we probably have the actual recipe here somewhere for something like that.
Yep, it's close enough. I think that we will. I will say I'm so psyched about this. So, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't have an ending anywhere. Do you have anything
You know
else
what?
to say?
We don't. I don't have anything else to say except that, you know, we look forward to next week.
Yes, I'm very excited for next week.
Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah. All right. That's it. So,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Santé again.